Part 1. The 4 Rules for a Meaningful Conversation. Happily married couples, successful negotiators, persuasive politicians, influential executives, and other kinds of supercommunicators tend to have a few behaviors in common. They are as interested in figuring out what kind of conversation everyone wants as the topics they hope to discuss. They ask more questions about others' feelings and backgrounds. They talk about their own goals and emotions and are quick to discuss their vulnerabilities, experiences, and the various identities they possess, and to ask others about their emotions and experiences. They inquire how others see the world, prove they're listening, and share their own perspectives in return. In other words, during the most meaningful conversations, the best communicators focus on 4 basic rules that create a learning conversation. First, pay attention to what kind of conversation is occurring. Second, share your goals and ask what others are seeking. Third, ask about others' feelings and share your own. Fourth, explore if identities are important to this discussion. First rule, pay attention to what kind of conversation is occurring. The most effective communicators pause before they speak and ask themselves, why am I opening my mouth? Unless we know what kind of discussion we are hoping for and what type of discussion our companions want, we are at a disadvantage. As the last chapter explained, we might want to discuss practicalities while our partner wants to share their feelings. We might want to gossip while they want to make plans. If we are not having the same kind of conversation, we are unlikely to connect. So the first goal in a learning conversation is identifying what kind of dialogue we are seeking and then looking for clues about what the other parties want. This can be as simple as taking a moment to clarify for yourself what you hope to say and how you want to say it. My goal is to ask Maria if she wants to vacation together, but in a way that makes it easy for her to say no. Or it might consist of asking a spouse as he describes a hard day. Do you want me to suggest some solutions or do you just need to vent? In one project, examining how a group of investment bankers communicated among themselves inside a high-pressure firm, researchers tested a simple method to make daily discussions easier. Within this company, screaming matches occurred regularly, and colleagues were in competition for deals and bonuses. Disagreements sometimes led to prolonged fights, and meetings were often tense. But the researchers believed they could make these battles less fierce by asking everyone to write out just one sentence before each meeting, explaining their goals for the upcoming discussion. So for a week, before each gathering, every attendee scribbled out a goal. This is to choose a budget that everyone agrees on, or this is to air our complaints and hear each other out. The exercise never took more than a few minutes. Some people would just share what they wrote at the meeting start, others didn't. Then during each meeting, the researchers studied what people had written and took notes on what everyone said. They noticed 2 things. First, the sentences that people had written out usually indicated what kind of conversation they were seeking, as well as a mood they hoped to establish. They would typically specify an aim and a mindset. Second, if everyone scribbled their goals ahead of time, verbal arguments declined significantly. People still disagreed with one another. They were still competitive and got upset, but they were more likely to walk away from a meeting satisfied